Okay, welcome to the 1.3 online lesson, and there are two main concepts in this lesson, that is factorial and permutations. So those are the two things you want to make sure you get out of this lesson today. So first problem is actually a review question to see if you remember the previous material here. It's the question is, how many different ways could I take these 5 boxes and just line them up here on the screen? That's the question. How many ways can I line up the 5 boxes? And there's a couple of ways to do it. Of course, we could do trial and error, but that's going to be a while and be a little confusing. But I could ask myself, how many boxes or how many choices are there for this first slot? And that's a good way to start this problem. How many choices are there for the first slot? And you should be thinking, oh, there's 5 boxes to choose from. So there are 5 choices for this first slot. And once again, once I grab a box and I choose one, maybe it's the green one, and I put it in that first position, I ask myself, once I put a box there, how many choices are left for that next spot? And there are now 4 boxes left. Maybe I choose a box and I put it there, and now there's only going to be 3. And after I choose one, there's going to be 2. After I choose that one, there's only 1 left. And the way we need to figure out how many total ways I can organize is to multiply. And remember, that's the fundamental counting principle. 5 times 4 is 20, times 3 is 60, times 2 is 120, times 1. There are 120 ways I could organize those 5 boxes. So this becomes a little bit more handy when we start to talk about secret codes and how many ways can we organize these, how many different codes are possible, and things like that. But that's a review, and also ties into what we're going to do today. If I ever take a number, like in this case the number 5, and I subtract 1 every time and multiply all the way down to 1, start with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I multiply all the way down, another way to write that in mathematics is 5 with an exclamation point, and that's 5 factorial. This is where factorial comes into play. So an exclamation point in math means start with the 5 and multiply all the way down to 1 in this case. We'll talk more about that in a little bit later in the lesson. Another new topic is this idea of permutations, this word permutations. Okay, permutations are how many ways I can put things in an order if different orders count as different things. So for example, let's just say I pick 3 Skittles. I pick red, and then I pick a purple, and then I pick a yellow. And you pick 3 Skittles, and you happen to pick, maybe you pick purple, and then you pick yellow, and then you pick red. Okay, now a permutation says my Skittles and your Skittles are different. Because, by the way, when I eat my Skittles, I'm going to eat a red one, then I'm going to eat a purple one, and then I'm going to eat a yellow. I'm going to have a lemon aftertaste. In my opinion, that's not my favorite aftertaste. Your Skittles, you're going to eat grape, and then you're going to eat lemon, and then you're going to eat the cherry. And your aftertaste is going to be a cherry flavor. Okay, so permutation says that these are different. These are different things. Different orders are different things. These are 2 different things right here. That's permutation. I know you and I have the same Skittles, but a permutation says those are different because they're different orders. Keep that in mind. So I want to line up. This time I have 4 Skittles, and I want to line them up right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many choices are there for the first slot? There's 4 choices, so I'm just going to grab one. There are 4 choices for that one. How many choices for the next slot? 3. Okay. How many for the next slot? 2. Now I only have 1 left over. Now what I just did is something that we've pretty much done all along, is we said there's 4 choices for this one, and after I choose, then there's 3, then there's 2, then there's 1. And the fundamental counting principle says I can multiply those. 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that answer is 24. There's 24 ways to do it. Now remember, if I start with a number like the number 4 and I go all the way down to 1, in mathematics that's written as 4 exclamation point, or 4 factorial. Okay, that just means go 4, 3, 2, 1 and multiply. The answer is 24. Okay, that's factorial. So it's the same as the box problem that we did before, and I had written this down in the video before, is that there are 5 options, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So a quick method would just be 5 factorial. That can be done on the calculator, and I will show you that in the next video on how to do that on the calculator. So now permutations, if I want to know how many different ways I can organize things, there's a formula, and it looks really, really fancy, but let's talk about what this is. Okay, this is when you take R objects. That just means you're going to take a number of things from a number of things. And let me make this example more clear. This says there are 7, say there's 7 marbles, and I'm going to take 5 of them. Okay, 7 marbles, take 5. So over here you can see the 7 marbles, and I need to take 5 of them. There's a lot of ways to do this. How many marbles are there to choose from for my first marble? There are 7 to pick from. So I might say, hey, there's 7 choices here. Once I pick one and I put it here, now there are 6 choices left. Okay, so if I take a marble, select a marble and put it over here, now there are only 6 choices left for my next marble. 6 left over. If I pick a marble and bring it over, there will be 5. Pick a marble, bring it over, there'll be 4 left, and then 3. Now notice this did not go all the way down to 1, so I cannot write this as a factorial. It's going to be whatever 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 is. I'd have to physically multiply that on a calculator. But another way to calculate this is by doing 7p5. It says P stands for permutation. There are 7 objects. I'm going to take 5 of them. And permutation says if I pick a different order of the same colors, I'm counting that as 2 different things. So the formula says n factorial. Okay, so remember n is the first number. So the formula says I get the first number factorial divided by parentheses. The formula says n minus r, so it's 7 minus 5. 5 is the r. So it's 7 minus 5 factorial, like this. Okay, so 7 factorial divided by 7 minus 5 is 2, so this is going to be 2 factorial on the bottom. Okay, whatever this answer is, and I'm going to show you in the next video how to do that on a calculator, whatever that answer is will be the same answer as if I did 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3. Okay? Now, the next video that I'm going to show is going to talk to you just and show you some calculator usage. How do you find factorial on the calculator, and how do you do permutations on your calculator? So make sure you watch the second video.